Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 2 of SpiderGwen week here on a special edition of Dylan Knows comics, I guess you could say. For those who don't know me, have never seen me before, I'm Dylan Lang. I have a weekly YouTube show on Sundays at 12:30 p.m. where I discuss all kinds of different topics, and one of them happens to be comics. I also cover other topics as well. I also am an avid comic collector and have been since the 80s. And I also worked at Diamond Comics for about 4 or 5 years as a customer service rep and as a brand manager. So I've got my feet wet in the comic world, as it were. So what is SpiderGwen week? Well, I did day 1 yesterday, and today is day 2. SpiderGwen week is an appreciation / celebration of one of the best new characters ever created for Marvel, SpiderGwen, right there. A character of part of the Spider-Verse written by Dan Slott that's going on in the Amazing Spider-Man stories right now. Basically, Dan Slott is taking all the Spider-Man characters that have ever been created and created a whole bunch of new ones as well. And has also got some of his friends to create some new ones and has brought them all together to take on a band of marauding spider-sucking energy vampire things. And it's a very good storyline, and Spider-Gwen happens to be the character that was introduced in a Edge of Spider-Verse one-shot where we discovered an alternate reality where Gwen Stacy was bitten by a spider and not Peter Parker and got the powers of Spider-Man. And she in turn helped protect Peter Parker from the bullies that were bullying him all the time, but he wanted to prove himself, so he gave himself powers, turned into the Lizard, but ended up having a problem with that and ended up dying, and so Gwen felt responsible for that as well, and so her Spider-Gwen character has been hunted by the police, who is run by her father, Captain Stacy. So what's going on? She became so popular after a couple of appearances that they have decided they're going to do a regular series at Marvel about Spider-Gwen called Spider-Gwen. It will be out on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday. And Charming Red, Jessica from Comicosity, the Comicosity Hangout, which is a great hangout on Mondays at 9 o'clock. Her and Allison Berry and Karen D, they talk comics, they talk to creators, and they're very avid comic collectors. Okay, that was interesting. I don't even know what that was. Jessica is the one who spearheaded this because she's a huge fan of Spider-Gwen and is wanting to do a, I guess, live tweet of all the appearances that she's made so far in Spider-Man comics. And so she's going to do 2. We're doing 2 a day, starting yesterday and going all the way through till Wednesday with the first issue's premiere. Just taking a look at the various stories and stuff that she's doing and panels and just talking about appreciation for it and just comments in general about her appearances as well. And that's just basically it because she is a very popular character now and she is a very good character. I enjoy her immensely, and that's why I'm doing this. Everybody else did their little tweet up at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time today, but that's my kids' dinner time / bath time / bedtime, so I'm able to tell this point right now. But I'm going to get into that right now. As I said, this is a small one. Short one shouldn't be too long because the 2 issues we're going to be talking about today are Amazing Spider-Man number 10. Actually, let's reverse here. Let's make this. There we go. And Spider-Woman number 1. First up is Amazing Spider-Man number 10. Spider-Gwen is barely in this issue, but go read it anyway because the Spider-Verse storyline is fantastic. Cover, we have Mr. Superior Spider-Man. Since this is more just a Spider-Gwen thing, we're just going to talk about Spider-Gwen. But basically all you need to know is that the vampires are coming. The spider vampires are coming after the Spider-Mans and the Spider-Men from all over the world are joining up in teams and coming in to help out. So we start off with Miles Morales from the Ultimate Universe getting assisted by other Spider-Men, so get help with. So SpiderGwen's first appearance is a very, very small one. Let's see, you can see her. She's right up here at the very top. She's part of the crew that is hanging around and waiting to see what's going on. Peter Parker is still trying to figure out what's going on. The Peter Parker that we all know and love from the 616 world, who's in the Spider-Man comics, has decided it's time for them to move on and try to save the day. So he's gathering a bunch of different teams to go. And he's ordering SpiderGwen to stay behind. And there she is right there. And she's like, hey, what did I do? And Ben Reilly is like, well, in your world, well, I won't tell you later, but there's something major on. So basically in this comic, Peter is surprised when he saw Gwen's reveal last issue. And everything comes back to him, her dying by the Green Goblin, and he doesn't want anything bad to happen to her again. So he's ordering her to stay behind because he's the de facto leader. And that's not sitting very well with Spider-Gwen, as it shouldn't, because she is just as powerful as everybody else is. And that's really, I think, about it for a little while. So we just go on and we discover that there's another crew of Spider-Men getting gathered together by Superior Spider-Man, who was on the cover, who, before Amazing Spider-Man was rebooted, Dr. Octopus took over the body of Peter Parker and became the Superior Spider-Man. So that's what's going on with that. So one of Morland's brothers pops in to attack everybody. And there's a big battle, and people die, and they're able to defeat them. And then reinforcements show up, and that's basically about it. Just making sure. And then there's the reveal that Ezekiel is around. So he's been around like that. So if you've been reading the original story that set this all up, then you know what's going on. And the last appearance of Gwen, Spider-Gwen, is at the very end when she says, I don't see the old man. And Peter's like, sorry, or not Peter, it's like one of the other Spider-Man, maybe the British Spider-Man, saying, sorry, Gwen, we lost him, and not just him. So that's all Spider-Gwen's appearances in there. This is still a very good storyline, and I highly recommend you read it. It is brilliant, and just the fact that you see all these different Spider-Man show up and for battle is great storyline. But since this is Spider-Gwen week, we're just going to cover her appearances. So that was her brief appearances in Amazing Spider-Man. She does appear a lot more in the storyline. She appears a little bit more in Spider-Woman #1. This is written by Dennis Hopeless with art by Greg Land and Jay Leeson. Now, real quick, I like Greg Land's artwork. I know a lot of people don't. It's very photorealistic. A lot of people say he just takes computer pictures of models and like draws them or copies their pictures or whatever. And that's fine. But I really like his work. And Spider-Woman, Jessica Drew, has been around for a very long time, and she's got her own comic now, which is really good. And I've always liked the interaction between her and Peter as Spider-Man. That's Spider-Man and Spider-Woman, so it's always been interesting. So what this is about is one of the teams that Peter sent off was Jessica Drew with Silk and the Noir Spider-Man from the 1930s, who's actually pretty cool also. Let me see if I can get a good picture of here's a great picture of the Noir Spider-Man. And there's Jessica. And we got Silk in there as well. So they all making appearances. So needless to say, Silk is being hunted down by two of the members of Morland's family because she is the bride and they need her to control the universe, as it were. And Silk is still pretty young and naive and doesn't quite know what's going on. So she's still trying to figure things out. So needless to say, the adventure goes down the hole, and they end up going to the 1930s Noir Spider-Man's dimension because he's been injured, and in this gray noirish type of feeling. And so they're there, and then all of a sudden they hear a loud noise in the bar, and they go to investigate, and we discover there's Peter with SpiderGwen and Anya, who is Jessica Drew's protege. And she is coming in for reinforcements to help out. And what's great is, you know, Peter and Jessica have this confrontation between them, which as I said, I've always liked their characters together. So there's a confrontation, and there is Gwen being mentioned in there for backup. Jessica doesn't like that idea, but no, Peter's like, okay, this is the best we can do. We've got other stuff going on, and I got something for you to do, and I'm going to keep Gwen and Anya here to keep an eye on Noir and Silk. So there's Gwen again, and there's Gwen again because she's got such a great costume. There it is, and then one last time they go. Spider-Man takes Jessica away because he's got a special plan for her, leaving Anya and Gwen to look after Silk. And there's Gwen again, and there's Gwen again. They discover, oh wait, Silk is gone. They're like, uh-oh, we're in trouble now. And that's just a really great shot of Spider-Gwen right there. And it ends with Silk being put into a snowy New York with giant monsters chasing her. And so as I said, that was the last appearance of Spider-Gwen in this issue as well. So not a real lot of character development in these two issues for her, not as much as it was yesterday with her first appearance in Edge of Spider-Verse. But what you do get in Amazing Spider-Man number 10 is the fact that Peter Parker, our Spider-Man that we know and love, still sees her as regular Gwen and wants to protect her. And then we see that in the end, he's starting to believe in her more and is deciding to put her into another job in Spider-Woman number 1. So those are her only appearances in this. Now, tomorrow's day 3 is we've got Amazing Spider-Man number 11. And something that's really going to build her up a little bit. We've got Spider-Verse Team Up. She's in the secondary story right there, right on the cover. So I forget who she teams up with. She's teaming up with like Hobgoblin Spider-Man, Green Goblin Spider-Man. So it's pretty neat, but we'll cover that tomorrow. But you get a little bit more about Spider-Gwen in tomorrow's Spider-Verse Team Up number 2, and also an Amazing Spider-Man number 11. So I think that is it for today. As I told you, it was going to be a short one, and time for us to head out. Oh, shoot. I had the wrong, I'm trying to be all professional like, and it's just not working. Got to turn the volume up if you want the music to play. Again, the music is by Michelle Branch, both the beginning song and this song. And I'll be trying to be introducing as many female singers as I want, because one of Gwen's characteristics is she is a member of a band. So I think good music to lead in now to make this a little bit different than normal. So we'll see you tomorrow, and enjoy yourself. And the song is Goodbye to You.